Hey, it's Coop here, and I have a really important request for you today. I want to talk about truth, and I want to talk about untruth, BS, because there's a lot of noise in the fitness industry right now, even more than ever, and we're a pretty noisy bunch. So you've probably seen all kinds of advice in your social feeds, podcasts, books, ads, whatever. Get 500 members, or online coaching is dead, or $99 trials are the future, and don't raise your rates, you'll lose everybody. And 5% churn is fine. But how much of that is actually true? And how much is somebody just shouting on social media because they're trying to sell you something? Well, the fact is, you don't have to guess. We have real data. And today I'm asking you to help us make that data even better. So every year we publish something called the State of the Industry Report. This is it. It's the largest data project in the gym business. We collect numbers from thousands of gyms around the world. We partner with platforms like Wodify and Kilo and combine that with data from Two Brain gyms and other independent operators. And then we just, give it to you so that you can make real informed decisions about your prices, about your staffing, about your growth, about your marketing, not based on fads, not based on the loudest voice at the meetup that you were at last weekend, not based on guesses, not even based on what somebody thinks might work, but based on what actually does and is proof. That's what this is. This guide is proof. Here's how this whole project started. Back in 2018, I was working for CrossFit, and I sat down at CrossFit HQ to talk about a partnership with Two Brain. And at one point, the executive team that was gathered at breakfast said, "What's the single most important thing that we could do to help affiliates?" And I said, "That's easy. Collect data, publish it." And their answer, this is a verbatim quote, was, "That's a great idea. We'll never do it, but go ahead." And so I did. And since then, our team has put months of work every year into collecting and analyzing and presenting the best data in the industry. Why? Well, because nobody else will. IRSA won't do it. CrossFit won't do it. And you shouldn't have to rely on guesswork to grow your business. I mean, this is your livelihood on the line. In this guide, we put stuff like how much is the average gym profiting? How many people come to the average class time? Everything like what's the average gym paying out in expenses and what are those expenses? How many members does the average gym have? How many people show up to the average class? What's the average revenue per the average member in a coaching gym? How long do people stay at coaching gyms? All the stuff that you need to make decisions. Because you and I know what happens. You start a business, you're trusting your gut, and then every time you're wrong, it feels like a gut punch because then you have to go back and fix your mistakes. I want to save you from all those mistakes by just giving you the answer. This is it. But your voice matters here because the more gyms that participate in the survey, the better the report becomes. And that's why I'm asking you right now to take 10 minutes and just fill out the survey. And you'll help create a clearer picture of what's actually happening in the industry, not just for Two Brain gyms, but for everyone. This is a chance to raise the standard for the whole profession, to make sure that gym owners aren't just guessing anymore, and to make sure that you aren't either. So after you do fill it out, here's what you'll get. I'm going to send you a PDF copy of the State of the Industry Report before anybody else gets it. This is going to give you some insights that you can use to guide your pricing, tell you what you should be and set your future prices, to forecast your growth, like how much should you expect to grow, to identify the top performing models. Is group coaching really providing people? Let's find out. I really don't have a dog in this fight. What I have is data instead. I want you to also avoid costly mistakes because we've had gym owners tell us that they've used just one stat in this report to guide a six-figure decision. They looked at what is the average gym paying in lease? How much space do they need? And then they made a lease decision that saved them $100,000 just from reading this free guide. This is bigger than us. I mean, look, there's really nothing in this for me. There's nothing in it for Kilo or Wodify either, but they do it anyway, and I do it anyway, and we're investing our time and energy and money because we want the industry to get better. We're planting trees here by giving you these seeds, and we'll probably never sit in the shade of those trees, right? And I know you care about the future of fitness. That's why you're still listening, and that's why this matters, because truth wins. Here's what I want you to do right now. Click the link in the show notes or below this video. It takes 10 minutes to fill out the survey. Make your voice heard. Tell us how you're doing. It's important. Help us separate truth from BS in the fitness industry and help yourself make better decisions in your gym. We built this industry by doing hard things, didn't we? And this is one of the easy ones. Thanks for being part of all of it. I'll talk to you soon.